The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. I think
He missed the complete. He's crazy
Side by
stuff.
side, Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Just east of St. Louis in Madison, Illinois, sits a 1.25-mile speedway that produces some great racing, and that is where we are this evening. The Global Sim Racing Channel welcomes you to Gateway Motorsports Park for tonight's PRL Sportsman Truck Series, race number 13 on the season. And a pleasant good evening to you. Chris Scala alongside Tanner Sharp. Joe Peak taking care of us behind the scenes as always, and Dougie Beard is here working the cameras. And we have a special event here, as you know, we normally get to cover Premier Racing League, but not specifically the Sportsman Truck Series from PRL. And Tanner, tonight, what can we expect from these trucks on a track like Gateway?
Well, Chris, tonight we don't broadcast the Sportsman Truck Series that often, but tonight we are. And tonight we are at the 1.25-mile egg-shaped oval of Gateway Motorsports Park. This is a very unique, in my opinion, a very unique racetrack. It's an egg-shaped racetrack with about 9 degrees of banking, actually 11 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2, and in turn 3 and 4, it's 9 degrees of banking with long straightaways and tight corners. And due to those tight corners and the low speeds these guys are getting down in the middle of them corners, these guys are actually shifting. It's one of the very few ovals on the iRacing circuit that I know of that you're shifting that often. So, and plus the higher degree temperature, the more you are really shifting. But the problem with that is the more you're shifting, the more you burn off fuel. Tonight's weather tonight is 90 degrees and partly cloudy tonight with track temperature of 90 degrees, and obviously it's a night race, so it's fairly, very humid out there. So these guys could be doing some shifting early on, but if you want to try to conserve and save a little gas, don't shift at all.
And that's going to be very key tonight. So we got a very interesting track. As we said, 1.25 mile track. It's an egg-shaped oval, so it's shaped exactly like Darlington. Maybe drives a little like Martinsville, a little like New Hampshire. Let's just say it's its own monster. And to believe us, let's just take a lap around in the lap guide and see what it's like.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek in the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado at Gateway Motorsports Park. A very, very unique 1.25 mile oval. So without further ado, let's show you how to get around this joint. Down the front stretch, you're going to be braking very, very hard here into turn 1 and let it find the bottom here. And you're going to really try to dive in the middle of it, but try to get the big run off, because that's going to be crucial to either setting up a pass, going into turn 3, or just trying to pull an advantage. Pretty much anything that you would need to do. Turn 3, big, wide, open, and inviting. Let the truck roll through the middle, the half back into the gas, and then finally about full throttle right there where the rumble strips stop, and then start again. Now, Gateway does allow for a little bit of mobility in the corners here. 1 and 2, you might see guys run really high up here into the corner and try to get that straight run right off of the corner. Again, trying to set up a pass, trying to pull away, trying to do anything you can to pull an advantage. Back down into turn 3, same situation. We'll hit the brakes, let it roll. Don't dare touch the gas until about the halfway mark. Let it roll, back into the gas, full throttle off of the corner. Gateway can really be summed up in one way. It's kind of like a shrunken Darlington out there on the NASCAR circuit. So, with that being said, this was your guide to Gateway Motorsports Park. I'm Brian Yazek in the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado.
So as you see, the Gateway Motorsports Park is definitely one interesting character that we have to put up with tonight. You saw the shifting. Brian Yazek was driving the truck. You've seen him shift. You've seen him run the different lines, and that's what we got here tonight at the Gateway Motorsports Park. And we got 80 laps of racing coming up here in just a couple minutes. Let's review, Tanner, the Sportsman Series, because obviously this is the first of a couple broadcasts we're going to have the Sportsman Series from PRL, and we got 12 races that have been run previously. This is race number 13. About 7 different winners in the first 12 races. That's a pretty good average. Scott Eckrich, who you might know that name from the All-Star race we had last week, he won that. Well, he's won 4 races, and he did miss 1 race. That's why he's not the point leader. He's actually 3rd in points. As we look at these point standings going into tonight's race, Pierre Deigel, he leads by 26 points over James Krahula. Then you see Eckrich there, 43 behind. You got Adam Blattel, 75 points behind. Don Ronkel, 93 behind. Jake Wright, 93 behind. Chadwick Stallman, Joseph Hassard, and Dwight Beverly and Jody Green. That's your top 10 in points. However, there's a chase. And that's what makes this interesting, Tanner.
Yeah, definitely. And in the chase, drivers who have won and are in the top 20 in points are Scott Eckrich, Jake Wright, Ricky Harn, Dale Mears, and Jason Swan. So those guys, they can afford to take big-time gambles and lose on them. But the guys that don't have wins yet may want to try to conserve just a little bit, maybe attempt a points race to try to get into the chase. This series, a maximum of 40 trucks will possibly start each race. After the first race of the season, the top 20 trucks and points will be locked in each event. This series will utilize iRacing's fixed setup unless there is not one available at the venue, in case the league will make up a setup for that specific race. The series will utilize the car credit system. Drivers can check the rule book on information all about that. So, I mean, I'm in for a good race tonight here at St. Louis tonight. It's
a very interesting league, and basically we got all that stuff right off the website. So if you want to go see that, you can go to PremierRacingLeague.com, and you can see the website. They got a very organized league, and you see the season itself. 21 races, 9 race chase with a 3-round chase playoff, basically when it's all over with. It's a very fun league to be a part of, and tonight we got 15 trucks here as of right now, and I think we're in for a good race. Again, you're going to see the interesting instinct of seeing some shifting and some good hard racing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm wondering on how the multiple grooves at this racetrack will play out. Ever since Dynamic Tracks released on the iRacing software, multiple grooves has been knowing to come into play. Tracks like Iowa last week, we've seen that. So I'm just wondering, with this kind of a bigger version of a New Hampshire Darlington-style racetrack, I'm just wondering if the multiple grooves will really play out, because it just seems like in Lap Guide, the middle groove of the racetrack would seem to be the fastest.
And that's definitely 1 and 2 on 3 and 4, and that's where you want to be on the bottom, right against that rumble strip. However, do not touch it. I know in Martinsville, I always joke around and say you could get curb stomped. Tonight, you might get rumble stomped by the strip. You do not want that to happen. So you mentioned Iowa. That was actually the last race of the season for the guys here in the Premier Racing League Truck Series. Scott Eckrich, sounds familiar, won that race too. He won everything in Iowa last week as he won for the 4th time. Jody Green going to finish 2nd in that race. Dwight Beverly, James Krahula, and Woodrow Mahan won a caution-free race that saw 2 trucks finish on the lead lap. So it's safe to say Eckrich ran away with Iowa last week with the All-Star win, and of course the Iowa 100, which was race 12 of the season. So looks like still in the middle of qualifying right now. Got about 6 minutes to go before we get the green flag, and we talked a little bit about the keys. I want to go into this a little more. I want to ask you, Tanner. We talked to James Krahula a little bit off the air. He was talking about shifting everywhere. Obviously, it's driver preference. To shift or not to shift? That's the question.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a driver's preference. So at the start of the race, if you want to try to conserve, you probably don't want to shift, because the more RPMs you are using in these trucks, the more fuel you are burning up. So what do you want to do? Do you want to play conservative, or do you want to try to go up there and actually race? And if you're going to try to go up there and actually race, you're going to have to shift. So when it comes down to crunch time towards the end of the race, you're going to probably shifting at both corners.
And that's going to play a role, and I think shifting is going to lead to the next key tonight, fuel, because 60% fuel tonight in the Premier Racing League. Now, I don't know exactly the amount of fuel you can get in a truck here, because I've never ran a league race here that's at 100% fuel. However, I did run one recently that had 50% fuel, and I was able to go a max of 33 laps not shifting. So let's do some math a little bit. 60%, you add 10% to that 50. I know math's not my biggest subject here. I'm thinking around 40 laps or so is probably the distance.
Yeah, approximately 40 laps, maybe 40 to 45 laps, depending upon whether you're shifting out. But I'm just going to go on a limb and really say 40 laps here tonight if 50% is or 30 laps. So, like I said, that whole driver preference on shifting, man. If you're going to be shifting, you best be saving some fuel down in the later portions of this race. So if I was some of the drivers who are going to start towards the back of the pack tonight, try to conserve just a little bit. I mean, just because they're beating you by like 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds, don't mean anything. See how the race plays out later in the race.
And so will it be a win strategy or not? That will be the question. We'll keep an eye on that because you never know if there's going to be a caution tonight. We went caution-free last week at Iowa. We'll see what happens here at Gateway. And the last, but certainly not least key for tonight, pit road. It's very tricky here at Gateway. You got to enter off turn 3, just like you do at, say, like Homestead. And in turn 1 and 2, you're coming right off just like Homestead. The difference, though, there's a yellow line. If you look closely, a yellow and white line. You see it on the screen right there on the inside. That can bite you because I've seen people go across that line and get on the track and get black flagged for it.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're a driver driving here at Gateway, you always have to pay attention to those lines. This track, when you come down for pit road, any kind of pit road stops, it operates pretty much the same way as Homestead Miami Speedway, just longer. Pit road speed tonight is 45 miles an hour these guys are going to have to do, but once they pass the exit of pit road cone, then they can speed it up as quickly as they can. But you do not want to get on the race on the grass because iRacing itself will black flag you. So you have to use the pathways, be careful, and watch that yellow line coming off the exit of turn number 2.
And you see right there on the camera the 88 truck, Jeff Ryan actually showing us, for example, how tough pit road can really be when it comes to this deal. But Gateway, very long straightaways, very tight corners. That's why you got all this shifting. You got a very long pit road. You're easily going to spend a good 30 seconds on pit road. I think we're in, and these guys who have not run this, I know I've already heard 2 drivers say the night before the race, before we were on the air, I just bought this track for this race. They're in for a little surprise here.
Yeah, they are in for a surprise, and they are also in for a learning experience. So if you just bought this racetrack on the iRacing software and you're racing on this for the first time tonight, I mean, it is going to be definitely a learning experience. And I'm sure with all this practice time these drivers have had just today, as these drivers, I believe, are still in the practice stages, they're really learning the racetrack, trying to get on the track, be around cars, how is the truck going to handle around traffic, you know, all that information these guys are learning tonight.
And that's what we are in for, is some great racing here this evening at the Gateway Motorsports Park. As you mentioned, yeah, I thought we were in qualifying, but we actually are still, I believe, in practice for just a couple more minutes, and we're going to have 10 minutes of qualifying, and then we'll have the race itself coming up at about, looks like 9:30ish is I'm looking at the start time as I'm doing the math here in my head again. I'm not the biggest mathematician in this booth, probably. I know Joe's a lot smarter than you are probably when it comes to math, but nonetheless, we got a fun race in front of us here, 80 laps at the Gateway Motorsports Park. So basically, we got a fun one involved with the Premier Racing League. You can go to premierracingleague.com to check that out. And what we'll do actually is we'll step away real quick and we'll let the qualifying happen. We'll come back and we'll get you ready for the race itself. 80 laps at the Gateway Motorsports Park. We'll take a break here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. And back at the Gateway Motorsports Park, right outside of St. Louis. You can see the arch from the Speedway during the daytime, but tonight it's all about the nighttime as we get ready for the Gateway 100 in the Premier Racing League Sportsman Truck Series. Let's talk a little bit about the history of Gateway Motorsports Park, because it's a track that's newer to iRacing, and unless you're a big NASCAR fan or IndyCar or even drag racing, you might not know much about the Gateway Motorsports Park. It's a track that actually opened back in 1970. However, the oval, it's only been ran since about 1997. And I actually pulled this up, Tanner. The first ever Xfinity, at the time Busch Grand National Series race, was back in 1997 on July 26th. The race itself is still known as the longest race in Xfinity history, 3 hours, 48 minutes to finish this race. It was a 300-mile race won by Elliott Sadler almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, for having the trucks and Xfinity, especially the Xfinity Series at the time, Busch Grand National, but as we all know today, the NASCAR Xfinity Series has some great history at this racetrack. This track is actually an old racetrack. If I'm not mistaken, this track opened up in 1970, but as you just stated, NASCAR didn't start coming here until, 1996, 1997? I think that was 1997 you just said. Yeah. So, I mean, this track's got a lot of history when it comes to racing, but with NASCAR,
Earl Wallace Jr. before that, and then there was a good 5-year gap between races at that track. But you know what? We're here now, and we get to do our first Premier Racing League race here at the Gateway Motorsports Park, and they were actually showing us tonight that apparently next season the Cup Series for the Premier Racing League is coming here to Gateway, which that's going to be interesting.
You know, I've never seen a Gen 6 Cup Series at all at Gateway before. As much as I've seen Gateway on TV and here on iRacing, I've never seen anybody drive the Gen 6 cars here before. So it's definitely going to be a very, very interesting race. I'm just wondering how much shifting you're going to be able to do in them cars without spinning them.
Yeah, that's going to be something that we'll look forward to seeing coming up here next season. But tonight it's all about the Truck Series for the first time, the Gateway 100 coming up here at the Gateway Motorsports Park. And we appreciate you joining us here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Let's take a look at what appears to be the qualifying. It looks like everybody has put a lap up from what I'm seeing, but 2 guys, if I'm seeing this right. And I'll get this up to date on my screen here. But yeah, it looks like Jake Wright, a 34.115 second lap. He's going to be on the pole. And then, of course, you got the, we'll call him Mr. Iowa, I guess, right now. Scott Eckrich, he's to start second, 5/100ths off the pole. So congratulations to Jake on winning the pole. But Scott's not in Iowa anymore. He's in Illinois, and well, his luck might change a little bit there. He's going to start second. Ricky Harden, he'll start outside. Look at that time. How about 6/100ths off the pole? Tommy Ryan will start fourth. Pierre Deigel, points leader, starting in the 5th position. Joe Hassert going to start 6th. James Grahula will start there in the 7th position next to Jody Green outside row 4. DJ Beverly and Chad Stallman will round out the top 10, Tanner.
Yeah, and outside the top 10, you got Woodrow Omaha in the 07 car starting in the 11th position tonight. Jeff Ryan in the 88 is going to start 12th. Don Runkle Jr. in the 00 will start 13th. Josh King will start in 14th. And 2 drivers that have not taken any qualifying times, but they did run practice times. That was Billy Tungate and Nick Thames. So that's going to round out this 16-car field that we do have here tonight.
And 16 trucks is what we'll have. And before we forget, I want to get this out now or else somebody's going to get mad at me tonight. Happy Father's Day to all the dads watching us tonight here on the Global Sim Racing channel. As you look on the map, you see the interstates right there, I-55 if you're heading to Chicago, I-70 if you're heading to Indianapolis or even west over to St. Louis. That's a couple of very interesting roadways. That's where Gateway's at. We're literally right off a bunch of interstates and highways, and if you have your graphics card turned all the way up, if you look closely off the back straightaway, you'll actually see one of the St. Louis highways actually right there. It's not an interstate, but I know it's one of the state highways there. I'm trying to remember which one off the top of my head here, but I've drawn a blank, but other maps you see from the blimp, yes, there's a go-kart track in there. There's also a road course on the inside, if you look very closely, as we are gridding.
Yeah, definitely. And just a touch up before we grid here or start to go racing here. That I never knew there was a road course here after just looking at that right now, quite honestly.
Just like to share the history.
Now that's very unique. I mean, at a track like this and you got a road course, that's unique.
That's what we love about Gateway. So many cool things about it. But that's enough about the hype. Let's get ready to do some racing. As, again, the starting lineup, we'll take a look if you're just joining us here. Jake Wright will be on the pole, 34.115 second lap. He'll start next to the Mom, I'm on TV truck of Scott Eckrich. Ricky Harden will start third. Tommy Ryan will start in the fourth position, and Pierre Deigel in the 14 truck will start there in the fifth as soon as he grids. But you're going to have Hassert, you're going to have James Krahula, Jody Green, DJ Beverly, a lot of great racers here. And again, if somebody has not won yet this series, tonight would be a clinching spot for them potentially in a chase if they are in the top 20. So hopefully they got their shifters on, their fuel mileage figured out, and I think we're in for a good show.
Yeah, I mean, with 16 cars tonight, yeah, it's a smaller field, but still, you're still gaining some points here and there too. But the most big thing you want to do is try to at least win a race to be competitive and be in that chase and compete for that championship.
Tanner, you followed the Premier Racing League. You know these guys pretty well. Driver you're looking at tonight, maybe an upsetter or somebody regular?
Well, Scott Eckrich is going to be a front runner all night long, in my opinion. I mean, he's good everywhere we go. I mean, that's just how good of a driver he is. But a driver that I'm surprised didn't qualify in the top 5 tonight, but I do look forward for him to be somewhere in the top 5 by the end of this thing, and that's the 02 of DJ Beverly.
There you go. We'll have some fun this evening. Again, we're going to do 80 laps, 100 miles in the Gateway 100, 60% fuel. Keep an eye on that number, because if we go caution-free, I think fuel mileage is going to play a major role in this race.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to see.
And watch the shifting, too. So if these guys are doing more shifting than ever, I mean, the more RPMs you're using up, whatever gear you're in, the more fuel you burn up. So that's what these drivers are going to have to watch for tonight.
Here we go. Pace car going to hang a left right off pit road. In the hands of Jake Wright. And he is on the pedal. We are racing first time ever. The Premier Racing League is at Gateway.
Good jump by Jake Wright, headed down turns number 1, brake early and then get hard off. That's the way to get around this joint right here. Try to search for that middle groove, because that's where seeing the most grip is. It's 90-degree air temperature and 90-degree track temperature, so it's a little slick out there. A little bit.
Everybody so far so clean. I watched a couple of trucks get close to the wall, but everybody's good. And it is Jake Wright out in the lead there in that number 27 truck. He's got Eckrich right there behind him. And then you got the 15 truck of Ricky Harden there in third.
Everybody else getting all fanned out. There's some side-by-side racing. Somebody's getting way below on the front stretch. They're trying to make a pass. That's a purple truck there. James Krahula making some moves.
Yeah, Krahula in the Advocate.
Oh, he drifted up the track.
Look out. That's what Gateway will do to you. That inside line will get you loose.
Yeah, he drifted way up the racetrack. I think he was on the bottom lane, which isn't really the preferred groove in turns 1 and 2, but it is the preferred groove in 3 and 4. That's what makes turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 so different from each other, and that's what gives this track character.
Battle on here for the third position. Tommy Ryan, the 99 truck, going to the inside of the 15 of Ricky Harden. He'll take the third spot away. Harden gives it to him. Now the M&M's truck going to give him some pressure of Joe Hassert.
That M&M's truck's looking slick. Car number 13. That's Jody Green. Oh wow, he hit that wall a ton.
He slammed that thing. Jody Green going to bring the first caution out. I think we might have another truck in. We'll have to see. But Jody Green going to bring the first caution out.
Tell you what, he may have had help from James Krahula there down turns 2.
Interesting. The two guys I told early in the race, be careful of shifting too soon into the corners.
My goodness.
Both involved.
Oh my goodness! I was wondering if we get on board. I did on board of Woodrow Mahan.
He missed him.
He missed. Maybe he clipped him a little bit. I seen sparks come out of there.
Interesting, but nonetheless, first caution out at lap number 3 here at the Gateway Motorsports Park as you ride with Woodrow. Watch this.
Yeah, off turn number 4. These guys are at as of right now. This is just before the wreck happens. Off turn number 2, coming down, head towards number 1. 1 and 2, he's driving the middle of the groove here. Truck spinning.
Look out!
Oh, wow! Man,
reaction.
Yeah, did you see him turn that wheel, though? I mean,
how do you do that without wrecking?
Yeah, that's what I would like. Oh, my gosh, that's better than what I could probably do.
And you see the either contact or net code there. Couldn't tell if there was contact between Krahula and the 13 of Jody Green, but there are no resets here in the Premier Racing League, so Jody Green going to have to get that damage fixed, and he'll be back in the 15th position. Should mention for record reasons, Billy Tungate did not start the race. He is still behind the wall as Jody Green comes down pit road. And other trucks on pit road.
Woodrow Mahan, Jeff Ryan, Josh King, Chad Stallman, Nick Thames, Don Runkle Jr., and Jody Green are all down pit road. So that's going to leave 8 trucks on the racetrack. That's Jake Wright, Scott Eckrich, Tommy Ryan, Ricky Harden, Joe Hazard, Pareed Digel, DJ Beverly, and James Krahula all staying out.
I like this move, especially at the back, because now I think you're set to make this on one stop without a single issue. Now you can get to that 40-lap mark, get the gas, get the tires, and get to the finish. So I do like this move by these guys when it's all over with. You see your leaderboard, Jake Wright, Scott Eckrich, Tommy Ryan, Ricky Harden, Joe Hassert, your top 5. You got Pierre Digel, you got DJ Beverly, James Krahula, your top 8. Those are the guys who stayed out, and of course we'll sync back up once everybody gets off pit road and crosses the start finish line. But the top 8 trucks going to stay off pit road. We should get a pretty quick green here, as there wasn't any lucky dog, I believe.
Yeah, there was no lucky dog. Everybody started the race, actually, with the exception of one driver, actually, and that's Billy Tungate. He did not start the race or turn a lap, and he did not even take a qualifying time either. So I have no idea what the situation is there. But we do have 15 trucks on the racetrack. No lucky dog whatsoever. Everybody is still remaining on the lead lap.
Should mention, I don't remember the year in particular, but this track does have more history to it, and I'm talking about the Truck Series. There was a race, I want to say it was about 4 or 5 years ago, that had 8 green-white checkered finishes to it.
Oh, geez.
And because of that race itself, it actually put the whole, where they went to the 3 green-white checkers, and after the third one, we're done rule, was that race that kind of caused this whole thing. So a little more history about the Gateway Motorsports Park. That race a few years back, of course. I'm trying to remember who the winner was and what year, but this is where it started, basically, here at Gateway. So more history for you.
Yeah, definitely. And iRacing does not have the green-white checkered system here, folks. So if a caution does come out with approximately 3 laps to go, the race would be official. Pace cars back down pit road. Jake Wright, Scott Eckrich, Tommy Ryan, Ricky Harden, and Joe Hazard, the top 5. Green flag, we're back racing here at Gateway.
And Jay, I don't know if somebody checked out the field or what, but people were ready to go, and they didn't go. But nonetheless, Jake Wright gets a good start into turn 1. There's the Mom I'm on TV truck on the outside of Eckrich. Going to get a good run.
Yeah, look
There's
at
that outside line.
That outside line playing in the dividends as of right now. Jake Wright, battle for the race lead. Jake Wright and Scott Eckrich.
And yes, on the back of his truck, this says, I bet you don't read this. It's on the back of Eckrich's truck, and I just read it. Literally, the 14 way up the track with Jake Wright going to battle back on the inside to SurveyStream.com truck. A Toyota there fighting to the line. Eckrich leads this lap, and look at the 15 of Ricky Harden there.
Ricky Harden wants to play ball with the leaders as of right now. Still side-by-side battle for that race lead. Jake Wright doing everything he can to get that bottom going. He may get a little tap from Ricky Harden coming off the corner. Oh, we got a car spinning in the back.
One car in the grass. It's the 0-2.
DJ Beverly. And
he's going behind the wall.
That will not bring out a caution because he didn't get completely sideways on the racing surface. And he did not stop on the racetrack itself. So, and he's taken that car to the pits to tow it. Too much damage, unfortunately.
A top break there for DJ Beverly, who I believe was top 5 in points. You see the replay as the 15 almost gets in the back of the 27.
Jake Wright made that outside, or not Jake Wright, excuse me, Scott Eckrich made that outside lane work just perfectly to his advantage. Jake Wright falling in line now, still in the 2nd position. Ricky Harden in 3rd, Tommy Ryan 4th, and Joe Hazard rounding out your top 5.
And you see mostly everybody being patient, kind of single file, which is definitely what you want to do here.
Oh, there goes Tommy Ryan.
DJ Beverly, who I believe is also known as Dwight Beverly, is 9th in points entering this race. And you mentioned Tommy Ryan.
Yeah, Tommy Ryan making a solid move on the bottom side of the racetrack, entering the corner on Ricky Harden.
Oh,
snappy loose. These guys are still racing. Wow.
Oh, he almost hooked him.
Yeah, and crossover maybe. Wow. Fantastic racing from both of these drivers.
And another thing I should mention about Gateway, yes, that is a gap in the wall back there. You hit it, it hurts.
Yeah, that's another thing. When you're a driver, you can see perfectly, but when you're in the booth or in the grandstands, sometimes it's a little hard to notice. But if you're on the front stretch, you can pretty much notice it.
Got a good little battle back here in the purple passing machines. The Monster number 14, the Advocare number 24, very similar paint schemes. But the 14 of Pierre Daigle, the 24 Krahula. Krahula's going to make a move to the inside here, down the back straightaway, down to turn 3.
Yeah, Pierre Daigle's getting passed here, or going to be passed here by James Krahula, his teammate. And right ahead of them is Joe Hazard, and right behind them is Woodrow Mahan.
Krahula's going to make that pass to move him up spot to the 6th position. Now the one going to make a move. Hazard under 100.
Joe Hazard making some noise, and he's actually in that middle groove. He kind of pushed up the track just a little bit, but hey, that's the way to go around here, really. Oh, we
caution,
do got
trouble.
Though. Oh, number 17, 88, Jeff Ryan involved, and the number 17 of Nick Thames.
Caution number 2 out in Thames with heavy damage. Got some virtual oil coming out the back of the truck. There's no oil really in iRacing. But you see the replay. Oh, the 88 just loses it, and oh my.
Yeah, 88 just loses it, actually in the middle of the corner like that. He actually entering that middle of the corner there, and he's on the bottom side of the racetrack trying to get it woe down. 17, Nick Thames looks like he was just a little bit too fast, too hot coming in, and he couldn't get it woe down in time to really avoid Jeff Ryan, so that's very unfortunate for those two drivers right there.
Yeah, and a unexpected T-bone steak for Thames. And leader's going to come to pit road, I believe so. Eckrich is going to bring him down. Now you got to be careful here. Don't pass the pace car.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. It's kind of like Homestead. You know, it's known at Homestead, if you pass a pace car and you enter pit road, I mean, that's a black flag right there. So you got to really keep track where that pace car is. These drivers do have a relative that they can keep track of where the pace car is, so it shouldn't be too much of a difficult for them. Sometimes it is.
Eckrich, I think, is ahead of the pace car here. We might have to watch this.
Uh-oh. It was borderline. And this is a tight pit road too, because look how close these guys are running towards that pit exit wall.
And this pit road's longer than the movie Titanic, so you got a lot of time before you get to your pit stall. I say that out of just being funny, or trying to be.
Boy, oh boy, Pierre Daigle took a slow entrance into his pit box here. We got some two-tire strategists though.
Not a bad move here. Pit road.
Josh Mahan and Josh King.
Tell you what, I do want to give a shout out to Josh King, and I'm sure Joe will get a shot of this truck. But look at the paint scheme and look at the name on the truck, Orlando Strong. And I mean, the whole deal that happened a week ago. Today, as a matter of fact, it's actually kind of near my home area where I'm from in Florida. But Josh kind of shown his support, and for the Orlando area, they've had a bunch of issues happen down there the last few days. And of course, we send our best and obviously our prayers to that whole area, because they've definitely had a lot of bad things going on there.
Yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers on my end as well. It goes down to everybody down. Yeah, I was involved with Orlando, all the events that have happened in Orlando in the week. All my thoughts and prayers go down there as well.
So Josh King will be your new leader. He'll be our third leader of the race. The 07 going to be up in the second position now. That's Woodrow Mahan. Eckrich will now be third. We'll have to see if he gets that black flag or not, because like I said, when I saw him cross the line, I looked over to pace car, and it was definitely a lot of a space between him and that pace car.
Yeah, he didn't get any kind of black flag. We are on the 1 to go signal right now, so if he would have got the black flag, he would have gotten it already, and it more than likely could have been a 1 to go. If he would have gotten it already, it would have been entailing along the line. But if we go green and he has to go down pit road to stop in his pit box, that's going to change the complexion of this race for him.
And if that was the case, I would have been on pit road at 1 to go there, got to the back of the field and slowed down to let them go, and then go to pit road right away. But
I don't know. There could be rules around that though too. So
true.
I mean, that's what we have to play in consideration. So if he does get a black flag, he'll have to serve that under green, and usually iRacing does require to serve it under green. Pace car is down pit road. Josh King, Woodrow Mahan, 2 drivers on 2 tires. Green flag, we're back out. Let's see how this all unfolds. Oh, wow. Scott Eckrich a little dicey on that restart with Ricky Harden all over that back bumper.
Yeah, King gets a really good jump. Mahan, not so much, and King's going to drive into turn one. Let's see how these tires last. He's going to have the lead. Eckrich is ready to pounce. Look at that run through the center.
Ah, man, did Eckrich had a lift there just a tick?
Oh, let's go three wide.
Uh-oh, this might not work out good.
The Michelin Man making a move.
Oh, squeeze it in there. Wow.
Eckrich is going to get it.
Now, if there's anybody... Wow. Scott Eckrich, he must be having fun about that.
The one truck that paid in this whole thing, we should mention, Jake Wright back in the 8th position now. He is making a move under Woodrow Mahan now for 7th, but he definitely lost all the track position he had there starting from the pole.
Yeah, definitely, but he's trying to make all that up as best as he can as of right now. And track position seems like on a longer run means a whole heck of a lot. So Jake Wright, he knows he's got a fast truck. It's just a matter of him having the patience to get up there.
And that's what he's doing, is he's going to go past the 35 to Josh King, move him up to the 6th position. Meanwhile, Eckrich pulling away. You got the 15 to Michelin Man, Ricky Harden. I keep thinking of the road races where the Michelin guy is always video bombing his drivers. Why do I have a sense if Ricky Harden wins tonight or something, we'll see the Michelin guy on TV again?
Well, maybe, but if he until then, he's got to get past Scott Eckrich to be able to go to victory lane.
Which we'll find out here in about 62 laps or so. Mahan making a move underneath the 35, so his 2 tires starting to set in. He'll take the 7th position. Josh King falling back. The 14 underneath him now of Deigel.
There in that 3 wide situation, Ricky Harden and Scott Eckrich got on the radio, joked about it a little bit. Man, Joe Hazard's hanging out in the top 5. I mean, he's having a solid night tonight. I know there's some races in the PRL he hasn't had the best of luck, but I mean, in this series, he's having a good run so far, hanging out in the top 5.
One truck I'm watching is this 24. James Grahula is having a great run. The Advocare.
Oh, yeah.
He must have some spark in his system tonight because he is working that inside line on the 99 right now, going for 3rd on Tommy Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a fast truck. Now it's just a matter of trying to pass the 3 trucks that are just ahead of you. Tommy Ryan's having a good night. Started 4th, currently in 3rd. James Grahula started 7th. He's currently 4th. Oh, there's the battle right there.
Yeah, Ryan's running a high line. I think he's driving it too deep, and it's making him slide up the track. Grahula's getting him center off, but you see as you're right on board the Advocare Chevrolet of James Grahula and how Ryan's able to get that run as caution is out for the 3rd time. One truck on pit road here to 17. Not sure if he's the caution or not. Up, Woodrow Mahan. Woodrow Mahan has gone around turn 2.
Oh, he was one of the 2 tire. Yeah, he was one of the 2 tire guys too.
I wonder if no, he just lost it. It looked like you're seeing the replay. He goes down, gets on those seams, and the back end just kind of swaps ends. Mahan actually apologizing on the mic saying, hey, my bad, guys. He just lost it and brought out the caution.
Yeah, you do got to put in consideration that he was on 2 tires compared to the other guys, with the exception of Josh King on 4 tires. Josh King also another driver on 2 tires with Woodrow. So, and he just lost out turn 2. He did not hit anything. So this was a good opportunity right now to come down, put 4 fresh tires, and try to make another go at it.
Well, caution number 3 on the track, lap number 21. We have a little less than 60 laps to go. The fuel strategy is leaders are coming down pit road here, so let's
see drivers what's do stay here. Out, though. James Grahula stays out. Number 17, Nick Thames, he is 4 laps down, and he will receive the lucky dog, so he's going to get one of those laps back.
Eckert's going to bring him down pit road, as you mentioned. Yeah, those 2 trucks going to stay out. That'll give Grahula the lead. As Eckerts brings everybody down pit road, and let's see how we see some 2 tire, maybe some 4 tire. We'll have to see. Right sign's going on everybody. Don't see anybody leaving yet. Up here's some 2 tires. Looks like the 15.
Harden, Ryan.
The 99, yep.
The who's that exam pit road there? Oh, and Hazard's taking 4. Eckert's 4. Jake Wright's on 4.
We got some no tire, 2 tire, and 4 tire strategies. We'll get it all sorted out, but first we're going to go pay some bills real quick. We'll be back on the Global Sim Racing channel. Back at the Gateway Motorsports Park, 24 laps in the books, 3 cautions, and we're about to go back to racing. We have strategy. That is the key word here. The one guy who hasn't pitted for tires here, the 24 of James Krahula. He'll lead this race. Ricky Harden, he'll start second on 2 tires. Tommy Ryan on 2 tires will be third. And then you got the start of the 4-tire brigade. Scott Eckrich, Joe Hassert, Don Runkle Jr. in the 6th position, Jake Wright, Pierre Deigel, Josh King, and Woodrow Mahan, your top 10. Woodrow bringing out that last caution. All these guys from 4th on back on 4 tires. But Krahula going to get the restart here in the Advocare Chevrolet. New tires.
Don Runkle Jr. must have had a solid pit stop. He started in the 13th position. He's been kind of in a top 10 area, like between 10th and 9th place, but he's up to 6th place already. So far, a good run for him tonight. Let's see if he can keep it going. James Krahula, Ricky Harden, Tommy Ryan, Scott Eckrich, green flag. We are back racing at Gateway.
You might think Runkle has a chip on his shoulder tonight with the Doritos truck, but nonetheless, back to racing. Krahula and Ricky Harden going to drive it down to turn 1.
Popcorn seed is Tommy Ryan, but
baby.
Bumped. That's the
And one truck we
difference.
just lost.
Yeah, somebody.
Joe Hassert is gone.
Going. He was having such a solid night tonight.
But Ricky Harden, he's going to take the lead. Eckrich on the outside of the 99 of Tommy Ryan. He is trying to put. He almost got the wall there, but he's really going to push Krahula down the straightaway.
Yeah, Eckrich is pushing, man. He is pushing, but that's the difference between no tires to 4 tires. Is you're a little slower compared to the 4 tires.
Krahula
and we
way
might
up
go
the track,
3 wide off turn number 2. What a dangerous spot!
Here we go, big wreck.
Oh no!
4 trucks involved.
Oh wow!
Oh,
a lot
make
of
it
trucks.
5 to 14
Jake
in it
Wright
also.
involved.
Jake Wright, Scott Eckrich, James Krahula, the 99.
No. Well, let's say they were going to go 3 wide, and I did say it was a dangerous place to go 3 wide. Tommy Ryan getting on the radio saying he got loose. He apologizes.
Yeah, but you know what? Krahula went up and got the wall, so this is kind of a mixture of just different things happening here.
I'll tell
you
you
see
what,
Krahula gets the wall, Ryan comes up the track, Eckrich is the meat and the sandwich.
they were giving each other a lot of room, too. I mean, coming off that corner, that wall just jumps out at you. Krahula's in the wall. Eckrich accidentally spins Tommy Ryan because Tommy Ryan gets a little loose off the exit of the corner, and looked like Scott Eckrich would make it through, but he gets clipped by Jake Wright.
You know who this might be a good break for? Joe Hassert. He fell out. He's already connecting back in. If he can get out of the pits before this pace car gets around, he might be still on this lead lap when it's over with.
Yeah, I mean, he's having just a little bit of quality issues right now. Joe Hassert is. Wow.
Man, you see the lick here. The guy I'm more worried about was, I think, the 27 who went flying, hit that inside wall down there and just literally was in the air.
Here's a pretty good wreck avoidance. We can get onboard camera of Don Runkle Jr. here from our director. I would be able to show you what I'm talking about. He sees it happening, slows it down. We'll have to get on replay here.
And 27 looked like he's okay, and bam, he hit the corner of that wall.
Oh, wow. What a vicious hit for that 27, Jake Wright. Yikes.
And then on board with the Doritos truck, I mentioned having a chip on his shoulder tonight, and, well, he definitely has done a great job so far.
Look at it here. And he's in the middle of turn 1 and 2. He sees the 3 wide situation happening right there. Now they're going to start spinning. He sees it. He's going to woe down the truck just a little bit. Then he sees a truck in the wall. He's going to turn to the left to try to avoid that wreck. That was a nice piece of driving by Don Runkle.
So to caution out for the 4th time, Scott Eckrich coming on and saying, quote, "We're killed, boys." Literally.
Well, that's very unfortunate right there, but he does have a win, so I guess he's going to be in the chase one way or another. Meanwhile, with all that stuff happening at the exit of turn 2, and since we're under caution here, that's going to put Pierre Deigel up in the top 2.
Yeah, Pierre's going to be up to now. Your leader's going to be Ricky Harden, as I'm actually going to, I'm looking at the point standings right now just to see how much of a factor this is going to play now with people who have won races, who haven't won races, but as I'm seeing it, Deigel's not won a race this year, so he's got a shot now to get that win and get himself in the chase. Don Runkle with no win so far this season. Just to mention, and out of everybody in the top 20, you got Josh King with no wins. You got Woodrow Mahan with no wins. Ricky Harden's got 1, so he's in. it's, he's in a situation where he can race however he wants. Everybody behind him has got a shot now.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think everybody besides Jay, as of right now, besides Ricky Hart and everybody else, they got a chance to win this bad boy.
Hey, that's what's fun about racing. You never know when your night's going to be and when your night's not going to be. And you always say you learn things about a track. I just saw a stoplight in the backstretch. I didn't see that before.
Yeah, it's crazy here at Gateway. I mean, you got iRacing has all the visual effects, and they even have moving traffic on that interstate on the backstretch back there with lights, traffic lights, all that good stuff. So it's pretty cool.
One of the main features that iRacing keeps working on with some of these tracks is the outside stuff. I'm trying to remember other tracks as of recently where they've added features where you just see different things. Like you look off turn 2 at Indianapolis, you see the city. It just things like that. That's what makes this so cool.
Well, I tell you what, one of the coolest things when I first came onto the iRacing service is Daytona International Speedway, especially the repaved version of it. Turn 1 and 2, you could see the airplane landing down onto the airport.
And Joe Peak, actually, the director, mentioned he's a big road course guy. Imola actually has the town there and a Senna tribute. Of course, Ayrton Senna, one of the great F1 drivers who was killed at Imola back in '94. So it's those are the cool things that makes you appreciate iRacing even more. But pace car lights are off. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks. Out of the 16 that have started half the field, unfortunately, Junk City. But the other 8 here ready to win at the Gateway and ready to win at the STL, as some people will call it. But Ricky Harden's your leader. Pierre Deigel, Rudra Mahan, Josh King, Jeff Ryan, Don Runkle Jr., James Krahula still up there in 6. Make that 7. Chad Stallman. I don't think we've said that name all night. Tommy Ryan, all still in the running here. And how about Joe Hassard all of a sudden up to the 10th position, though he is 2 laps down. Blake Gallant came back, and here he is.
Yeah, he could come back from that 2 laps down to finish on the lead lap. Pace car is down pit road. Ricky Harden, Pierre Deigel, Woodrow Mahan, green flag. We're back racing Ricky Harden on the loud pedal.
Harden gets a good jump, and I looked at 27. Jake Wright trying to get a good run down the inside there as he gets the green flag. We'll see how much up to speed he is, but Harden's going to be on it, and Michelin truck there on the inside. But look at his battle for second back here to 07 and a 14. Pierre Deigel trying to make a run for second.
Tell you what, it wasn't that long ago. Woodrow Mahan spun off turn number 2, but didn't hit anything, and here he is battling for the second position.
Speaking of spun off turn 2, look at the 5th place battle. The 24 James Krahula, who just wrecked, has his truck all repaired.
Yeah, he got back. He went down pit road on this last caution.
Oh, crossing over.
Oh, wow, that was scary. If I was a driver, that would have been scary.
Hey, Mom, watch this.
James Krahula, he's got 4 fresh tires now. I believe, if I'm not mistaken here, who all stayed on that last caution? Ricky Harden, Pierre Deigel, Woodrow Mahan, Josh King all stayed out. Jeff Ryan also stayed out. They are on approximately about 9-lap old tires compared to James Krahula and the other guys that just recently pitted 3-lap old tires. So
Mahan gonna make the move for second. Look at the 14. Daigo's going to cross back over here, try to make the move himself. Not going to be able to. But one thing we didn't really talk about much here with turn 1, the looseness underneath another truck is very big here. You saw that with that last caution, and I've seen it a couple times with trucks underneath another here in the last few laps. So you see the crossover move by the 24.
Yeah, I didn't know if the 24 was out of whack or what, but man, he just decided to do a crossover move, tries to get under number 14 of Pierre Deigel. That is going to be for the 3rd position. James Krahula back in the hunt to try to win this race.
Yeah, Krahula doing a great job with that truck, and I'm looking at the right side of it, and his crew did a great job. Apparently they've been on the Spark too, and in case you don't know, that's an energy drink from Advocare, but they've got that truck fixed up, and he's definitely doing a great job in 3rd.
Well, he hit the wall, and he did have damage, but it looks like he didn't have any significant damage. And right now, he's running pretty much almost the same lap times as Ricky Harden.
Joe Hassert back on the track in the M&M's truck, and he's going to take the position away. Rumor has it that Joe dropped a bunch of M&M's on his modem. That's what caused it to go. I'm just kidding about that, obviously. But nonetheless, good to see him back out in the 10th position. Hopefully, he'll maybe get his laps back with some caution.
Yeah, just a small correction. Joe Hazard is 2 laps down in 10th position. He passed Don Runkle, which is not 4th position, but he is a little faster, and he will not, if the caution does come out, he will not receive the lucky dog because Chad Stallman in the 92 will receive the lucky dog, providing if a caution does come out.
Ricky Harden leading by about 1 second. Then you got a good battle for second. James Grahula is there with Woodrow Mahan. Now, should mention 45 laps to go. We've gone for about 5 or so laps here, so we went green right around the 50 to go mark. We're still got one more pit stop to go in this race, and the question comes up now, do you split this in half and do 25 and 25?
Well, I tell you what, you ain't making it to the end right now. That's for sure. Depending, I don't know. Like we said on the top of the show, are you shifting or not? It's a driver's preference. If you're not shifting, you're saving a little more fuel than the guy that is shifting. And so far, I'm not sure if Ricky Harden is shifting. I would have to get the onboard here of him.
Yeah, you got a good battle for on board with Tommy Ryan right now. I was about to talk about this. He is in a fight with Josh King to 35. These guys battling for the 5th position. Look out, Josh up the track in the wall.
That was scary.
Tommy's going to go by. You wonder if they had downshifting, got him a little loose.
Tommy Ryan is downshifting. He was in 3rd gear coming off the turn number 2, and then he shifted in the middle of the backstretch.
So Josh going to lose a position to Ryan, but Hazard going to go by 2, not 4 position so much, but that settles that battle out. So
yeah.
The 15 of Ricky Harden, your leader, Woodrow Mahan, 8/10s back, so he's running right there times with the 15. Matter of fact, last time by, Woodrow about a 10th faster.
Just a little quicker than our race leader. 6/10 off.
Everybody pretty much spread out for the most part here. Tell you what, the guy just went back and was looking at Chad Stallman. Let's give him a little shout out riding at 9th. He's like a half the track back, but he's kept his truck clean. He's not been in any trouble, and he's in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, he's going to get the lucky dog if we do get a caution. But if he goes another lap down, he's going to have to battle for that lucky dog position with Joe Hazard and Jake Wright. Ricky Harden extremely loose coming off turn 1 and 2, and he is shifting, folks. So I don't think he's playing conservative right now.
You wonder how much he's maybe drove his truck maybe a little too hard, because tires can be a factor here, especially when you're shifting them. Obviously, the higher RPM, the more wheel spin, that kind of thing. As Grahula gets a nose underneath of the 07, not able to make a move, though.
Yeah, I wonder. I have not had the opportunity to turn laps at this track to understand the tire wear. But, I mean, if the tire wear is significantly huge, I mean, if the harder you drive, the more you're burning off that right front tire.
Now, I want to bring this up as you're riding on board with Grahula in the 24. I'm not somebody that says that Gateway's my favorite track, but I have no problem saying there's a lot of races you see here, a lot of leagues in iRacing that will show up and you get like a quarter of your league showing up. I would love to see more people buy Gateway and get on this track because it's a blast to drive.
Tell you what, you get around with the right people, especially with these guys right here in this league, man, you can produce some fantastic racing. And you just said, buying this track and drive on this track, it definitely can be a whole lot of fun.
Oh, Mahan a little loose off too. He's going to move over. I think he's going to let Grahula go maybe here. Oh, maybe not so much. He just took an awkward line off the corner.
Well, Mahan is driving a great race so far. I mean, he spun off. There
that's driving it in there.
Yeah, that definitely driving it in there, but it worked.
I think Woodrow just kind of said, all right, you can have it. As Grahula moves to second, and then see if he can chase down Ricky Harden.
So far, it's about a 1.6 lead from first to second place.
Everybody else pretty much spread out as I look around. This is your best battle right here on the track. The Advocare Chevrolet and the MAV TV Chevrolet battling for second and third.
Don Runkle Jr. just a little bit slow coming off the corner of turn number 2. He's going to have to let Josh King by. He's going to might let Josh King by here. Getting on the radio and apologizing, so I guess something happened.
Interesting there. Yeah, this is a battle actually for the 7th position. So Runkle let Josh King go. As I'm going to listen a little bit here.
Yeah, Yeah, Don Runkle said he had a little bit of a moment coming off turn number 2.
That's a little bit?
What he is saying, he he got extremely loose, and Don Runkle Jr. did say, "Sorry, Josh, I had a little bit of a moment in turn 2."
As Daryl Waltrip says, if you can see the numbers at the side of your truck from the booth, that's not good.
Yeah, that is not good. Usually loose is fast, but not that loose.
That's one of those deals. I think I said it during the All-Star race. He had his hands and feet on the wheel straightening that thing out. So let's look up here. Yeah, Mahan's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Only about half a second off from James Krahula for that second spot. Not really. Everybody's all pretty much fanned out right now. If they're really loose, they're going to let the faster guy go by, just like what Don Runkle Jr. just did off turn number 2. The first car 1 lap down, Chad Stallman, is still currently 1 lap down. Joe Hazard and Jake Wright would be maybe a battle for position if they are around each other, but currently they are not.
As you see them going by Tams in the number 17 out there just running laps. Unfortunately, some laps down, but he's in the 12th position. As earlier we had the incident involving James Krahula. Also involved in that was our points, our third place points guy, but our leading winning guy so far on the season, Scott Eckrich, who's won 4 races. He was involved in this as we welcome Scott in real quick. My man started second. Looked like you were the truck to beat tonight, but unfortunately circumstances got you. Talk about what happened off turf too.
Yeah, I think we just were going for the 3 wide there. I think Tommy just got a little loose on the bottom there, and it wiggled up, and we caught bumper.
Tire strategies. I saw a lot of it. Obviously, you had some cautions there in the first first 20 laps or so. How much was tires playing a role during that time?
It seemed like the fall off was pretty quick, so I thought if you had more than 4 laps in your tires, it would probably be pretty advantageous to come down for 4 tires.
Notice in turn 1 on the 1 restart, you got a super run on the outside. How much is the outside and the multi-groove racing working here at Gateway with the hot temps?
I think the inside is really strong on the entry to the corner, but the high line really lets you get that arc and get you that real strong run off. So, between the two of them, it might be pretty even between the 2 lines there.
How good does it make you feel that, I know obviously you don't want to wreck, you want to win every race you can, but having the 4 wins in the bank, it kind of is like, okay, well, at least it's not so bad.
Oh, yeah, it sure takes the sting out of any wrecks there and knowing you're locked into the chase.
Well, Scott, I will say I think you had one of the best paint schemes tonight also, and we appreciate the Mom, not only are you on TV, but you're talking on TV paint scheme. So tough luck, but we do appreciate you spending time with us, and we wish you the best next week.
Thank you.
Scott Eckrich, unfortunately, behind the wall is going to finish in the, I'm seeing 13th position, I believe. When it's all over with, we do appreciate Eckrich in his time. But James Krahula, 1.1 second back. He's starting to stretch it out on Mahan. Can he catch Harden is the great question here, Tanner.
Yeah, that's the question, and touched up on tire fall off. What Scott Eckrich just says. I just wonder if Ricky Harden has burned off those tires on the right sides. Usually, if this track's pretty loose, that right rear is going to burn off more than the right front. So we'll just have to really see if James Krahula, he's got a fast enough truck to do it. Ricky Harden, I believe, is still currently on 2 tires. James Krahula's on 4 tires, and they're not too far off on laps on how many laps they are on them tires. But since Scott Eckrich just touched up, tire fall off is pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing already. I mean, fast lap times, 34.5s, 34.7s, and you're right now 35 2s and 3s. So we're going to have second to almost 3/4 of a second off of our fast lap times here. So now you could see maybe more of the shifting everywhere on the track from 1 and 2 to 3 and 4 as I'm listening to Krahula right now, as a matter of fact, and his shifting down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, I know Ricky Harden is another driver that's been shifting.
Krahula's coming to pit road.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's an awkward way of going to pit road.
Oh, no! That's not good.
He should be okay, though, but there's no penalty there as far as I remember in iRacing, as long as he gets the pit road smoothly.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hauling it now.
He's hauling it, yeah. But usually that's the exit of pit road that you have to watch out for.
It's on the replay. Watch James and
last minute decision, you think,
going
maybe?
all Gilligan's Island trying to find his way to pit road.
Yeah. Nailed it there, yeah. I mean, James Krahula, that's going to cost him maybe a little bit of time, but
Let's watch him here. Right side tires going on. He did slide him into pit road into his stall, so this could be interesting. Might have to do 4 tires. Right side's on. He is going 4.
Yeah, he's doing 4. I mean, you got to remember, if you go through the grass here on iRacing now, you can't pick up a lot of dirt and grass, and it does stick to the tires, and it takes a good amount of speed to get that all brushed off your
4 tires and fuel, and he is gone. Let's watch his transition off pit road. Remember that line blend. He needs to go straight off here. I've fallen victim to this. No, nicely done. I think he'll be okay there.
Yeah, I mean, by pitting early, I mean, that might be a game. I mean, the longer Ricky Harden stays out, the more time James Krahula is going to gain.
And not to mention, you can go this far on fuel. So his last stop is done. Jake Wright also on pit road. We should mention the 27, but he is 3 laps down. But watch these tires. He's going to drive to turn 1 as Diego's on pit road in the 14.
Here, Diego down pit road right now.
4 tires and fuel, I believe, for him.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, Don Runkle Jr. hits pit road, folks.
So the Doritos truck is coming down pit road. It is a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. And as I mentioned, this pit road is very long.
Race leader stays out again. Woodrow Mahan's in, number 07.
Woodrow Mahan. Oh, Mahan spins on pit road.
Oh, no. That ain't good.
And the one's coming in of Hassard. He's got to back it up, but no caution, no.
No. Yeah, caution doesn't come out on pit road.
4 tires and fuel, and the 00 pulls away as you ride with Mahan here. He's going to get this one of those deals. You hit your brakes and downshift mid-corner, and your back end just wheelhouse. Blah, 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 blah. It zing. Around you go.
And his pit road's been treacherous under green flag pit stops today. We've seen one with a little bit with James Krahula and now Woodrow Mahan.
It was one of the keys I said during the race, and that's exactly what has happened. Pit road playing a factor as we look at the splits as Mahan's not even gone out of his pit stall. Yeah, that's how much time he has lost. So unfortunate break there.
Tell you what, the fastest car on the racetrack last time by was obviously James Krahula, 34.761 to a 35.784 to the leaders.
Look at that. That's 1 second separation. So the longer Ricky stays out, James is going to eat him up, but at the same time, Ricky will have the fresh tires in the longer run. But where do you balance it?
But I tell you what, I don't know. Right now, it's go time for James Krahula. He's made his bed, and he doesn't have the win yet this season. And he's a lap down, but he is catching the race leader drastically.
Nobody else yet on pit road. But, yeah, we got the trucks who have already taken that strategy. They've kind of split it in half a little bit, and we'll see if it pays off for those guys. As you see Krahula coming down the back straightaway there. Ricky Harden going into turn 3 of this Michelin truck.
Oh, not too far behind. Coming off turn 4 is Ricky Harden. James Krahula's coming off turn 4 now.
You know, what really shocks me is I was just listening to Krahula coming off turn 4, shifting mid-corner, going back to 4th gear. That's something that I've learned in the very lack of road racing experience I have. I've never been good at the whole upshifting mid-corner deal without spinning your truck out. So he's done a great job of doing that.
I'll tell you what, me neither. You know, I like road racing. I just, I'm just not very good at it, and I don't follow too much of it. And I'm more of an oval guy myself here. But shifting here, when I first ran at this racetrack, I didn't know. I knew very little about this track, and when I first ran here with a couple of guys, I didn't know they were shifted. I was like, "How are you guys so fast?" We're shifting. Okay, that's the reason.
And then you watch the race, I believe, coming up here this season for the trucks. You might see them shifting. I'm not sure if they'll have a different gear or not, but you never know what's going to happen when that time gets here. But you go watch plenty of Gateway races on YouTube or something. You see the shifting that happens. But, yeah, it's multiple things. You think of saving fuel, short shifting coming out of the straightaway. That saves you fuel and that kind of thing. But I'm more, the wheel spin coming out of the corner, shifting up a gear. But nonetheless, it's working for him, and he's slowly catching Ricky Harden, who's got a 8-second lead over Tommy Ryan in the 99.
Tell you what, folks, if racing's in your blood, iRacing needs to be in your hard drive.
Well done. That you know what? That should be a motto for iRacing. And here comes Harden. Let's see if he has a better.
Believe it or not, it is. Oh, Ricky Harden is down pit road. That's our race leader, and he's getting passed by James Krahula right now.
I just realized there's a dog on the back of his truck. You think he's scared? Oh, he locks it up.
It ain't Brutus. Oh, maybe it is Brutus.
But a 15 truck going to come down pit road. That'll hand the lead to Tommy Ryan. He'll get a lap lead and a bonus point. But the
45 miles an hour down pit road just seems forever for Ricky Harden because his pit stall isn't until towards the exit of pit road. 4 tires going to go. It looks like 2 tires going up. I assume he's taking 4 tires here.
Yeah, 4 tires going to be the answer. 21 laps to go. And let's see where Krahula is. It's like an F1 race, watching them come off pit road. And here comes Krahula past the line into turn 1.
That's big time there. Big time. Okay, now let's see here. Ricky Harden is still on the pathway. He has to get past that yellow line there.
And you saw Krahula right in front of us there. He's coming into turn 3 now, right there on the screen.
Yeah, he's all the way down turn number 3. But here's the kicker with that, though. You say 21 laps to go. Look where Ricky Harden is on the racetrack compared to James Krahula. Do you think with them 4 fresh tires that might help Ricky Harden on maybe getting a position from Krahula?
This is going to be tight. Let's see what the separation is here. As I'm looking over on the screen, it is going to be 2.5 seconds, it looks like. About 2.2 seconds from Krahula, who pitted roughly about 5 to 10 to go. And
you're closing fast. I mean, fast. I mean, look at compared to lap times here when James Krahula hits the start. Oh, this lap traffic might be
he went up the track.
Big.
Good move.
Good move. Let's see here. James Krahula's lap time is at the line. A 35.116 to Ricky Harden's 34.345. That's huge.
He's already down to 1.2 seconds. We are going to have a fight on our hands here as Krahula comes up on the back bumper of Stallman.
Man, I wonder if Krahula maybe pitted just a little bit too early.
What could be a saving grace for the 24 here? Go another 2 laps, 3 laps, and a caution comes out. That would play into James's hands.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, he can come down pit road and get 4 fresh tires. Oh no. Cars were going crazy on my screen here. Must be some kind of glitch on my end. I'm thinking everybody's spinning. But Ricky Harden, yeah, that's going to... Oh, man, that's tight if the caution does come out, though.
And right now, he's taking advantage of the lap truck, the 27 at Jake Wright out of the way as Harden drives it deep into turn 3, and it's only about a half second now, so Harden is there. Catching him's one thing, passing him's a whole another monster.
Tell you what, man, if we had crew chiefs on iRacing, man, they'd be banging their heads or something because they're trying to figure out Ricky Harden is there on James Krahula.
Looks down to the inside here. The move is there. Is he going to have enough run off the corner? He might get him down here to turn 3. Both shifting up to 4th gear. Harden on the back bumper. Let's see if he drives it in here. Looks low. Looking. It's going to go easy in.
Not yet. See. He should get him here.
This is going to be tough now because he's going to have to drag race him down the front stretch into turn 1 and hold the bottom.
Do you see what Krahula just did? He kind of closed that door on the bottom to prevent from Ricky Harden getting that huge momentum on an exit from him.
Very smooth move. Now, Ricky's going to back off early here. Let's see if he takes the outside line here and drops it to the bottom, maybe?
If he does, he's got to make it stick right now.
Oh, it didn't stick.
It didn't stick. He had to get off the throttle before he snapped loose. This is going to be interesting. I'm sensing a good finish winding up here, Chris.
You're riding on board with Ricky Harden. Look at the momentum here. He's got it. He runs down the inside line here, gets a little bit, but a nice corner by Krahula. Got lap traffic up ahead.
Yeah, Krahula's waiting for them tires to even out a little bit.
Josh King, the 35 on pit road. So he'll give up the 2nd position to pit.
And that is 4th position, too. So he's going to lose that top 5 spot. Maybe pitting later like this wasn't in the correct plans of that number 35 of Josh King.
I like what Krahula is doing here because he's given Ricky the inside turn 1 and 2, and that's not the easiest place to pass out. The only place you can really pass on the inside is right here, 3 and 4. Otherwise, you got to almost try to drive the outside on him.
Huge update here, folks. Josh King on pit road that we just spoke of took only 2 right side tires.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't know. Not in this stage. Not in this stage
Ricky
of the race.
drives to the bottom.
Here we go. Let's see if he can get him. Corner exits a little quicker.
Krahula's got him still. No, you wonder too how much did James maybe save his tires, letting Ricky catch him.
That's a very good possibility. But how much of the tires did he use up after he pitted, though? Is my question.
Now, the one thing we have been focusing on this a lot. Tommy Ryan's still out there in the lead right now, as we have 13 laps to go. You don't think Tommy Ryan's trying to make this on fuel?
He's
on pit road now.
Oh, he's on pit road now. He's 23.8, or it's crawling down now, but Tommy Ryan on pit road.
Northern Tools Equipment truck on pit road. You wonder if Krahula was playing some Jedi mind tricks on Ricky Harden.
Maybe. Ooh, a little slide into his pit box there.
Now, Ryan should have fresh tires. Problem is he's going to be so far back. I think, unfortunately, he might be out of it.
Yeah, I think. Oh, he took two right sides. Two right side tires on Tommy Ryan. He took the same strategy as Josh King did.
Harden had a good run center off, but not able to get to the back bumper. Krahula is still a drag race. Harden might put the fender to work here. James drives it into 3.
Tell you what, James Krahula he's like a wizard. You shall not pass.
He gets loose though.
It's the outside wall, upside down, huge caution. And as we say, this changes everything.
Oh my!
Oh wow! He is upside down on the front stretch, and the drivers like Scott Eckert and Ricky Harden are all having a good laugh about it.
Wow!
James Krahula's even laughing himself too.
I'm going to put it like this. Krahula's one of those guys, he's actually on GSRC at times doing broadcast. I don't know if he'll ever live that one down in here. I'm just going to put that out there now.
Either way, I have some great racing from Ricky Harden and James Krahula.
Oh,
Tremendous racing by both drivers.
You know what? Ricky got the wall.
Wow.
So that's, this might have just played into Tommy Ryan and Josh King's hands.
Maybe, but Pierre Diegel coming down pit road for 4 fresh tires. That's giving him the opportunity to be a front runner in this race.
Well, Tanner, we're going to take you to know your French name classes, my friend.
Yeah, I apologize to all the drivers who I goofed up the names tonight, but I will get them. I promise you that.
Well, here we go. Pit stop's going on right now. We got some cars in. I know the 15 is on pit road. Ricky Harden, Pierre Diegel's pitted, Mahan, Josh King. All these guys on pit road. Tommy Ryan and Don Ruckel Jr. going to be your leaders.
Oh, boy.
And we are going to have 10 laps to go.
Crunch time. Hey, that was good for Tommy Ryan, though. Did he actually just stay out, though?
He did.
Okay, he's on those 2 right sides tires, though.
That could be an issue.
I'm biting my nails on this one now. I'm just glad we don't have crew chiefs.
Joe Hassert, believe, is going to take a wave around here, so he's going to be 1 lap down. I'm not sure who got the lucky dog here. I want to say maybe Jeff Ryan in the 88 probably got the lucky dog here, as I'm looking at timing and scoring, but...
Yeah, I believe Jeff Ryan did get the lucky dog. He's on pit road right now, and he's about to get lapped again. So I think I think he did receive the lucky dog.
He's leaving pit road now, so he did get the lucky dog. Gets his tires on the Mountain Dew truck.
Oh man!
As they say, this changes everything, and that's what we got now. Let's get this ready to go here. We're gonna have about 7 laps to go when we get this restart. Tommy Ryan is your leader. He's on 2 tires. He had just pitted right before that caution. He'll lead. Ricky Harden, he's got 4 fresh tires, I believe. He's going to be second. I'm looking over just to confirm now. He did take 4. He's in second. Pierre Diegel is going to be in third. Josh King is going to be in fourth. Woodrow Mahan going to be your top 5. Don Ruckel Jr. and Jeff Ryan going to be your 7 trucks who are on the lead lap here. Can Tommy Ryan hold this thing off and get himself in the chase? I believe he is one of the winless ones.
It's been 4 laps since Tommy Ryan's been on pit road. He did take 2 right side tires, but those left side tires got to be worn out. And to compare those to those 4 tires behind him, like Ricky Harden, Pierre Diegel, Don Ruckel Jr., I don't see those 2 right side tires really holding up that well.
Remember though, those 2 tires were taken as the caution came out, so he didn't even get a green flag lap on the right sides.
Yeah, that's true. I just wondering if handling is going to play in a difference on the exit of the corners for Tommy Ryan.
We'll find out shortly. Wave rounds going by as we got one to go.
One to go, folks. Ooh, what do you think, folks? Who's going to win this race? Tommy Ryan, Ricky Harden? I mean, we'll have to see how it all unfolds.
We picked a fine night to make our debut here in the Truck Series for Premier Racing League. You can check out their website. They got some great racing. Of course, their Cup Series and National Series. Just some fun racing and a fun league to be a part of.
And I've had the opportunity to drive with these drivers in the past. And there are quite a few of these drivers, actually. Some of them are kind of new, but some of these guys, like Ricky Harden, Tommy Ryan, and they just got tremendous talent on the sim racing service on iRacing, and sometimes I can't even keep up with them. So that's how good these guys are.
So we're going to come to the green flag with 7 laps to go. Will the 2 tires of Tommy Ryan or the 4 tires of Ricky Harden taking the victory lane? We're about to find out, or will it be somebody else? Pace car is off.
Here we go.
99 on the pedal. We're back to racing. 15 gets a good jump also. We're going to be side by side going to turn 1.
Yeah, boy. I think Harden's going to get that run off the corner. Let's
Drives
see here.
it in there.
Yep. He got the wall. That's twice.
Tommy Ryan to the lead.
Yeah, that's going to put Tommy Ryan. That's benefiting Tommy Ryan.
Second.
Wow. Woodrow Mahan's back up there. Josh King.
Six laps to go. Mahan.
Oh, gosh.
Nice block by Pierre.
Mahan wants to go, man. Look at Mahan go.
Oh, Mahan dives it into 1. Oh, I thought they were going to hit.
They may hit Ricky Harden. Ricky Harden fell back to 3rd. Pierre Deigel, 2nd place, folks.
Ryan just got the wall.
That's 3 times. Oh, boy.
Here comes Deigel for the lead after Tommy Ryan got the wall.
Oh, no. Pierre. Oh, my gosh. We're set up for a photo finish here, folks.
Daigo's going to go to the lead. Tommy Ryan got the wall off, too. Deigel goes to the lead. Ricky Harden almost hits the wall.
Oh, man. This is tight, fellas. This is tight. Man, 1 lap. Ryan went from 1st to 4th.
Woodrow Mahan to the inside. Tommy Ryan fighting. Daigo's looking to add his name to the list of chase drivers.
I tell you what, man. He had a great run. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had a good run at Iowa.
Points leader Pierre Deigel comes across the stripe this time by. We'll have 4 laps to go at Gateway. Will he be number 6 in the chase?
He didn't finish in the top 5 at Iowa, but Pierre Deigel has a chance to finish in the top 5, and not only a top 5 finish, but a win.
Woodrow Mahan up to 2nd.
Oh, man. Oh, Tommy Ryan really loose. Tommy Ryan, oh, he saved it.
Glove saving a beauty, and he's still trying to get 3rd.
How did he do that? Wow. That's driving right there, folks.
Oh,
and we have battle for the lead. Battle for the lead shaping up. Woodrow Mahan.
Another driver who hasn't won a race yet. 3 to go.
Turn up the intensity on these drivers. It's go time.
I should mention a point of no return has been crossed. What I mean by that is next flag ends it.
Oh, boy. And when the white flag comes out, folks.
Oh, Tommy Ryan got the wall again off, too.
When white flag comes out, no more cautions. It's free for all. But if a caution does come out, Pierre Deigel will be in the catbird seat to win the race.
This race ain't over yet. Mahan with a great run through 3 and 4.
Oh, man, he's up to that back bumper. He's going to the inside. To the inside. Are they going to reach the checkered flag?
The battle of drinks. Monster Energy versus Jack Daniels and Map TV going for it.
Woodrow Mahan didn't really get a very good run. Maybe he got a good run off that corner. If he's going to try something, he's got to do it now.
They're going to see the white flag this time by. Now do you see why I was bragging about Gateway?
Oh, my gosh. Gateway does produce fantastic finishes. We've seen them in NASCAR. Final lap. We've seen him in NASCAR. We're seeing it in iRacing. We're seeing it in the PRL. Can Woodrow Mahan pass Pierre Digel? Or Digel, excuse me. Again. Oh, he got loose off turn number 2. Woodrow Mahan. That
might have done it.
That may have done it.
We got to see, though. They still got to go to 3 and 4. Pierre Digel gets it through 3 and 4. He's going to bring it off the corner.
He's got it.
He is the points leader. And now you can check the box of chase driver. Pierre Digel, first win of the season at Gateway.
Woohoo!
Woodrow Mahan second. And you know what? That might have helped him out. He was 19th in points.
Unbelievable. What a race. What a finish. I mean, even though it wasn't a side-by-side finish to the line, we still had 2 guys, and actually 4 guys, in the hunt for the win.
What a great race.
What a race. I mean, I tip my hat to a lot of these drivers. Here, Digel, all excited in his truck right now. Ricky Harden giving him congratulations.
Oh, he about parked in the barrels. Harden, speaking of. But nonetheless, we'll talk to the drivers. The top 3 finishers, Pierre Digel, your winner here at Gateway Motorsports Park. We'll talk to him in Victory Lane coming up on the Global Sim Racing Channel. And back at the Gateway Motorsports Park, we just watched an awesome race, basically in the Premier Racing League in the Sportsman Truck Series. Let's go through our final rundown real quickly before we go to our drivers. Pierre Deigel, points leader. Also chase driver now as he gets his first win of the season. Woodrow Mahan, a big fight there, going for second. He will finish second. I should say going for the lead, but he's going to finish second. Ricky Harden going to finish third. Looked like he was on his way to victory lane before having some issues. Tommy Ryan, the two tires not quite holding up for him, but he did finish fourth. Josh King, Don Runkle Jr., Jeff Ryan, Joe Hassard, who had some internet issues, he made it back to eighth. Chad Stallman and Jake Wright going to be your top 10.
And outside the top 10, James Krahula, who finishes 2 laps down, close. Coulda, shoulda, woulda maybe been a part of the winning, maybe in the winning move, but James Krahula will finish in the 11th position tonight. Nick Thames will finish in the 12th position tonight. Scott Ackrich, who was leading the race earlier, he'll finish 13th tonight. DJ Beverly in 14th. Jody Green in 15th. And Billy Tungate, who did not turn a lap tonight, will finish out in the 16th position.
All right, let's get a chance here. We'll talk to our top finishing guys. I don't see second place here, so let's go. Let's grab Ricky Harden and bring him down here to the third place finisher, and the guy that some could say maybe should have won this race, but unfortunately had some issues and at the end, and it kind of cost him when it was all over with. We'll bring Ricky here, and Ricky, tough battle for you in the end. Unfortunately, not able to get that victory, but still a good third place run for you.
Yeah, I thought I had it in the bag after that big wreck took out most of the fast guys, and I just choked really hard on that last restart. Tommy was wounded, and I knew I could get around him, and I just misjudged the exit of 2 and knocked the wall down and broke the suspension, and I just couldn't drive it, and I couldn't keep up with those guys.
How confident did you feel that this race was yours after Krahula went flipping out on people, I guess, in turn 4, we'll call it?
Yeah, I mean, I knew as long as I got out front, I didn't think I was going to get past. And coming out with Tommy there on the in the lead there on the last restart, that didn't bother me. I think I knew he was pretty hurt, so thought I could clear him and run away.
Well, still a great effort for you. The good news, you already got a win, so you're in the chase. But how much did you really want to get that second one?
I'd love to. I don't know if I'm going to run enough races to get into the chase. We have to start a minimum of I think 12 races to make the chase, and that means I'll have to start I think 3 more. I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, we do appreciate you coming in here with us. We congratulate you on your third place run. Any shout outs or anything you want to say to anyone?
Yep, thanks to Brian Ramey and Associates being on board, Michelin Earth Mover, James for putting this thing together with us, Advocare, Coastal Safety Auditors, Global Sim Racing Channel. Appreciate everybody.
Ricky Harden going to finish third tonight, so congratulations to Ricky. We appreciate his time. And looking here, I don't see our second place finisher Woodrow Mahan yet. So as a matter of fact, we've sent Tanner to go party in Victory Lane with Pierre Deigel.
Yeah, I get the party in Victory Lane, or at least watch this enjoyment of celebration. And Pierre Deigel, you win the race tonight in such a fantastic finish. In my opinion, it was a fantastic finish between you and Woodrow Mahan. Talk about the closing laps of the race there. What was going through your mind?
Well, yeah, it was intense. I can tell you I'm sweating right now. My armpits are wet. It was pretty intense, those last 10 laps. Basically, I restarted third on that last restart, and I knew that Tommy was on older tires and he had a little bit of damage, and I knew I could maybe have a shot at it, but I had to do everything right. So then maybe 3 laps after the restart, I saw Ricky scrape the wall, so I got a good run on him and grabbed second, and then the same thing happened with Tommy, so then I grabbed the lead, and I had Woodrow right on my tail wanting to get the win bad too, but we had a great battle for it in the end, and I'm so happy to be in Victory Lane tonight.
This track seems a little bit hard to drive at times if you're new to this racetrack. Explain how hard is it to really get around this joint with the shifting and all that stuff?
Well, it is hard, and especially for me, it's even more alien because I come from an open wheel road course background, so I've been trying to get better and better with these stock cars. But I don't know if it was foreshadowing, but my only C-fixed win was at Gateway. So, well, I don't know. It was it's a pretty hard track. It's a special type of track. It's unique for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This is, I mean, I look at this racetrack and it's just something different than out of anything out of the NASCAR circuits. But before we let you go here tonight, to let you celebrate with your crew and let you celebrate all in general, pop open any beers and champagnes, is there anything you would like to say before we let you go for the evening?
Well, I want to thank my sponsors, Toyota and Monster Energy. Toyota's had a hard day today during the 24 Hours of Le Mans, so it's good to bring them in victory lane. And I also want to thank my teammates, Joe Hassard and Jake Wright. They're great teammates, and I couldn't ask for better teammates in the world.
All right, well, congratulations, Pierre Daigle. I'm sorry I got your name wrong a few times here tonight, especially towards the end there. I was so excited, but thank you for taking the time to come to talk with us tonight, and congratulations on your win here tonight at Gateway.
Thank you very much, and I don't blame you for messing up my name. It's French. I don't blame you.
But, well, Chris, I mean, we've seen some fantastic racing here tonight at Gateway, and I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to these guys again.
Yeah, it was definitely a blast to see. Congratulations on Pierre Daigle picking up his first win of the season at the Gateway Motorsports Park. And you know what? I noticed we have time for one more interview. Let's grab the guy that, until his issues, might have had victory lane all wrapped up. Let's bring him down here. James Krahula. I'm with him now. James, need I say what happened?
Well, I had to pit early because that's the only way that I was going to get in front of Ricky. And I screwed up pit entrance royally. I hope y'all caught that. I went through both sections of grass. And then, I knew he caught me, but I knew how hard it was to pass on the inside. So all I knew is I just needed to protect that top side of 1 and 2. And I knew that I probably had a good chance of holding him off. And, in order to do that, you got to just drive it as hard as you can, and I screwed up royally. And next thing you know, I'm going upside down the front stretch. The crew only said that we needed 43 seconds to repair it and get back out there. So I said, "All right, well let's go finish the race."
Well, and at least you had the heart to go finish it. I know a lot of people would have been kind of, I'll go ahead and say the word embarrassed in that situation. I've done it before. I'm not ashamed to say that. And the cool part is you had a heart to go finish that, which is always good. And yeah, you finish 11th. But talk about the racing tonight at Gateway and how fun it was.
That was absolutely insane, and yeah, that was crazy. I wasn't expecting that many wrecks, but I mean it was just fun. This is such a fun racetrack. Can't wait to go here tomorrow night in the Coastal Safety Autos Grand National Series 2017. The Advocare Cup Series should be coming here to this racetrack too. It's a blast. I wish that it was run more in real life too, because it's just a fantastic racing facility. And yeah, we had to get back out there and get as many points as possible. We don't have a win in this truck series. If y'all saw how I drove tonight, I would be surprised if you guys were surprised. But so we need to keep plugging away, get as many points as possible. And by the way, I just want to say that I called it that Pierre is going to win tonight. So I as a little Toyota redemption after today.
Well, James, we do appreciate taking time to come up here and talk with us. So we wish you the best of luck. You get a couple weeks off here in the truck side of things, and here at Gateway again tomorrow night. So best of luck, and we appreciate you coming up.
Thanks, guys. Go check us out on the Unacceptable Racing Facebook page. We probably need to post me, because that's just about as unacceptable as you can get.
There you go. And like I said, let's just hope Yazik didn't see what happened tonight.
Someone's already let him know. I'm probably going to be getting a text before I go to bed tonight.
All right, James. Well, good job in the 11th, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. As James Krahula finishing 11th, and unfortunately he had a moment that he'll probably be remembering for a while. But Tanner, let's wrap this up. Gateway lived up to what we talked about. Great show tonight, and nothing else we could say.
Yeah, definitely tonight. I mean, here at Gateway, it was just an interesting race from the start of the get-go. It was an interesting race that turned into an exciting finish. I mean, I don't know how to put it in any other words.
Well, they did their part, and that's all that matters here is Pierre Daigle picking up his first win of the season. We definitely appreciate everybody from the Premier Racing League allowing us to come up here for the Truck Series. Obviously, normally airing their other series here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but we do want to thank also iRacing.com and Motorsports Simulations LLC. You see some of the great jobs they've done here with the Gateway Motorsports Park. Also, XSplit, Audio Technica Corporation, Aver Media USA, also Dougie Beard, who was up there in the 90-degree heat sweating. We sent him a couple bottles of water, and as far as we know, he's still up there, so we're doing good there. Eric Ekholm, you can check out his music as you see right there on our page, ericekholm.com or Casey Lalonde at caseylalonde.bandcamp.com. If you want to stay up to date with the Global Sim Racing channel, know when we're on the air, you can always go to globalsimracingchannel.com or at GSRC channel, or GSR channel, let me get that right so you don't put an extra C in there, on Twitter and on Facebook, facebook.com/Global Sim Racing channel. And for details again about the Premier Racing League, premierracingleague.com. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.